Yeah, well, congratulations. Just give us your take first on that game and that performance, please.
Yeah, I mean, first up, I feel for Salford. You know, it's tough what's happened to them. So, yeah, but all we can do is play what's in front of us. I thought we were outstanding. You know, I think the first half was pretty ruthless and consistent, both sides of the ball. But we started the second half pretty sloppy, and Salford put the foot down a little bit and got some joy there. But yeah, I think, you know, for us to be able to do what we've done, give a couple of boys debuts, our team sort of play about with it a little bit, was good. You know, it gives a couple of players some experience, and I thought it showed that we've got a genuine squad really when we've got, you know, quite a few players who haven't been playing consistently for us who did a great job today. So it was really pleasing.
That's over 100 points now in 2 games that you've scored. That must be a pleasing aspect, how that attack's clicking at the minute.
Yeah, and I think it doesn't really matter who's coming into the team. I think people just know the roles and what they're doing, which is, you know, Shenny's coaching our attack. I think he's done an awesome job. I think both sides of the ball, I think we look really good. You know, they've got. I watched them attack last week against Gas and it's caused them no end of trouble, and they got a couple of little bits on us in the second half. But other than that, I thought, you know, we had full control. So I think we're functioning, you know, pretty well in most areas. To be honest, I think Mason Leno's doing an unbelievable job, sort of anchoring the team as a half, and Max, and I thought Josh Rock played really well today. And Harvey Smith, you know, young hooker doing 80 minutes. He's got a big future ahead of him.
2 tries on debut as well or Super League debut anyway for Ellis Lingard. How pleased are you for him?
Yeah, I was pretty nervous. He obviously he got his debut in the Champ last year in slightly different circumstances, an 18th man. But then today he was great. I just think, you know, I was proud for him and his family that. He's come on and scored a couple of tries. You know, I think it's obviously Super League, but Salford are not the best team in Super League, so he needs to keep his feet on ground, which is a challenge with Ellis because he's pretty excitable. He's a great character. I said this all the way through last year. You know, I think he's got a big future. He's a big future ahead of him. He's going to be a big physical player, and I think he showed, you know, right off the bat that he can handle it really. You know, the challenge for him is keep his feet on the ground and keep working hard, which I know he will. You know, he's a great kid. So, but yeah, it was pleasing to see him and Jaden out there. Both had strong debuts, I thought.
Regardless of that, as you said, there's going to be tougher teams that you face. But with someone like Ellis, given how he played today and didn't look out of place, do you see him as a viable option even when you do get some of those injured forwards back?
Yeah, well, I'm going to give him time here or there to grow and develop. You know, physically he's a big boy, but he's got a lot of work to do to to play against the bigger teams, I think. But that's just time. You know, I just think it was great to get him have a look at it today and see how he handled it. And I thought he handled it pretty well. I know he gets nervous and sat on the bench for a fair while. It can be tough for a young player that, but he handled it pretty well. And he's got on the end of a couple of things there that the senior players were great around him, and they're great with him actually, keeping his feet on the ground, you know, because he's got a bit safe for himself, Ellis. So he gets a bit back, that's for sure.
Another brace as well for Caius. Have you ever known a forward to have this sort of scoring form, 6 and 3? Yeah,
we were talking about him there just after the games, coaching staff. He's just, I think he's sort of made for the British game. You know, I just think the way he plays, he's been another great pick from us in a recruitment perspective. He's explosive, beats people, can offload, scores tries, got a bit of an instinct for the game. You know, I think he's been an outstanding signing.
That final try in particular, Ellis's second, was sort of made from that middle three of him, Caius and Machikoza as well. Can you just give us an insight into sort of the direction that you give those middle forwards when it comes to sort of ball playing? Have they got that freedom? Is that the instruction?
Well, you know, we had some specific stuff today that we wanted to work on. I mean, we work on similar. Everybody works on a similar structure. Some coaches will put more emphasis on what the middle unit players do, but we've got some smart boys in there. I think Pitts is an unbelievable 13, and Cos has been sort of taking that role at times in conjunction with Pitsy, and sometimes when he's out there on his own. I just think they all know what they're doing, and we tweak it here or there from a week-to-week basis. But the middle unit know what they're doing. They work hard with each other on certain elements of the game, and I think it's really starting to come out how they interact with each other. And they've all got sort of slightly different skill sets as well, which I think they combine so well as a unit. You mentioned Jay Pitts there, a nice moment as well. I know you spoke about him in the week, but a nice moment to crown his 150th Wakey game try. Yeah, he's been a great performer for us, and he complains when other middles are scoring tries at times. So I just said to him that I'll put you in the back row to get you over the line. So it's good for quite a few of our middle unit boys can play back row as well. It's good to have that flexibility. He's one of them, and it's good to see him crown that with his 150th game. Because he's, like I say, he's had an outstanding career. I feel like he's probably playing the best rugby of his career at the moment. Those that didn't play today, Ollie Pratt, Liam Hood, Josh Griffin, are they just simply rested or any niggling injuries or anything? Yeah, there's probably Pratt who had a bit of an ankle who couldn't have played. The other two could have played. I just decided that we'd give them a little bit of a breather. We've got a big game next week against Leeds, and I feel like they've been doing a lot of work, those guys. So it just made sense. I gave Mike and Pittsy slightly less minutes today, which again, we've got a big game next week, so need to get ready for that. So I think we've sort of ticked every box today. We've given a couple of opportunities to some younger guys, and with less minutes to some of the players who've been unbelievable for us because we have got so many injuries. How serious is Ollie Pratt's? No, he's all right. He'll be all right for next week. And just finally, on the injury front, otherwise, I know Tom Johnston came off. Is that much of a concern, or was that just? No, I think he's all right. I was going to change him at half time anyway. That was 2 minutes before, so I just get him off, put Jaden out there straight away. So he'll be right. He'll be fine for next week, I think. Cheers, Dan. Thank you. With that flick pass for Ellis's second try, is Caius really a prop forward? Well, yeah. When we watched him play over there, he had a couple of bits in his game, and he had. I looked at some of his photographs with him in like sort of red suits, and his hair's a bit different. I was like, I'm not sure about this one, to be honest, because he's a bit out there. He's a little bit different, and I think that's why I think he's perfect for this country. A little bit different in rugby league is probably a good thing. In Australia, they like what they know, don't they? And over here, I think we're trying to put bums on seats, aren't we? It's slightly different here, and I think he's got good control about it as well. He's not just spraying the ball anywhere, but we did see some of that sort of, his out there sort of ability to play with the ball that I think is always great to have. It's a different dimension to our team, which I think we've got sort of multi-dimensional at the moment. We can play different ways, and having players like Kai's in the team allows us to do that. But you said there, it's like, A, he can try it, but B, he's sort of knowing when to try it, Yeah, and I think he's got a decent balance there, because that's an offload where he's punched through. He probably thought about doing that before, but he makes good decisions around it, I think. I've seen too many where the risky, loose offloads, he's generally, he gets the ball where it needs to get to. And, we did a little bit of work this week on offloading. We're trying to consistently work on that. I think it's an important part of the game, and we've got some players who are pretty good in that area. And it adds that different threat from your pack, doesn't it? Get a guy who can ball play as well. Yeah, well, I think we've got a fair few. I mean, we scored a try against Catalan a few weeks back, and I looked in the stand after we'd scored, and they were all going like this. The fans, it was just good to see that. There was about 4 offloads which were around the back and round the corner, and I just think you want to enjoy watching a game, don't you? I mean, I watch it as a fan after I've broken it all down, and you just think, wow, that's good to watch that. I'd pay to watch that. So, I think it's great to have players who can sort of express themselves in that way. Has it surprised you how well Caius has done when you don't know when they're coming in from a different competition, different country? Yeah, hit the ground running. Yeah, well, I think it's taken him a bit longer than people think, really, because he was over at the start of the year. He came in late, so he missed pre-season with us. And I was only giving him sort of 10-minute stints because I didn't think he was handling the defensive side of the game that well. And then with the injuries that we've got, we lost Caleb and Renouf after Catalan. Our middle unit is decimated, to be honest. We've got so many players who are missing from that unit, but the players that are in there, and Caius is one of them, who got more minutes as a result. So Kozer's got a fair few minutes, but Caius has as well. So Caius is starting for us, where he's probably his ideal coming off the bench because he's more of an impact player. But I mean, he takes 2 carries in the first set. If they kick off to us, he takes two carries every set. So he's wanting to work. But I think he's grown. It took him a while, and he never really complained to me. But I know he would have wanted more minutes. But I'm just going, Mike, defensively you've got to do better, and he has. He's got fitter, and he looks in great nick.
You did a lot of that today with, as you say, without so many of your star players. What's it say about your squad at the moment? I know it's where Salford are. We know that you've got players from the Queensland Cup. You've got players that other teams didn't want. You've got academy players, and they're gelling like that. Yeah,
I think that's what we're proud of as a coaching team, and they're starting to believe that it doesn't matter who takes the field for us. We're gonna look all right. I think we've got an unbelievable captain in Mike McMeekin who anchors everything, and then our experienced players. I mean, Mason Leno is an example for me. I mentioned it before the game when I was talking upstairs. I just think he's matured so much. It's hard to say that about a 30-year-old kid, but I just think he's matured out of sight. He's been sort of not on his own, holding the team together, because he's always had another halfback with him, but they're not regular halfbacks that have been playing with him. So obviously Truey is unbelievable when he plays, and those two together in particular. Ollie Russell has been injured. We've got Miles Lawford injured as well. I just thought we've got 3 halfbacks that injured, and we're still doing some special things. So I think it says a lot about the recruitment, how hard we've worked as a coaching group. That we've got an unbelievable coaching group. Players are getting better. If players are getting better in your system, then your coaching's going right. And I think we've got recruitment right. I think our coaching's pretty good. I think the players are class. How hard they're working, and we know we've got some big challenges this next block of games. We've got Leeds, Wigan, OKR, Lee. Catalan, I think it is, the next 5 games. They're tough games, them. So we're going to find out a fair bit about us over the next 5 weeks, which we're aware of.
So this next month's going to really test your credentials.
100%, yeah. And I don't think we're getting too many. We'll get Tommy Doyle back in the next 2 or 3 weeks, but there isn't an awful lot. Maybe Truey, we'll see how that goes. But there's not an awful lot coming back. So the long termers, if we can hang tough in the 6, around the 6, when it comes to the end of the year, I reckon we'll be in a pretty good spot.
What would that mean to you as a coach if you took this side to top 6?
Look, it's sort of no surprise. I've come back in the Super League on the back of a pretty tough time at Warrington, and I'm enjoying this job massively. There's a different joint to that place, so I'm pretty happy where I am, and I'm really enjoying being around a really honest, humble group of boys.